And there the sun goes, setting in Jamesville, Virginia, across the Chesapeake Bay. Hi, this is Chef Kevin, and one of my favorite meals is just a simple roast chicken. It's very uncomplicated and it tastes really good. What's there not to like about a simple roast chicken? Now, when I first started cooking chickens, I would just take a chicken and put it in a grilling pan, and it came out nice. It browned nice on the top, and it works. You can put potatoes in the bottom, vegetables, whatever you like, and the chicken will cook along with the vegetables, and you can make a real nice gravy out of all that. The downside is that it's kind of a mess in the oven because as the chicken cooks, pieces of oil fly off and they coat the walls of the oven, and it makes kind of a messy cleanup situation. So pretty much gave up on that, and now my thing is to cook it in a cocotte. This is a cast iron enameled cocotte from Perdue, and as you can see, it's oval. That way it fits the bird a lot easier. And I like this method because it leaves a lot of moisture in the bird, nice and moist. And if you take the lid off at the last 10 minutes or so, the bird will get a nice brown color under the broiler. And you can also put some vegetables around the bottom and make the nice gravy as well. And if you use the cocotte, you need to put a little grill in here because you don't want the bird to sit directly on the top. Sorry, you don't want the bird to sit on the bottom of the cocotte, because as it cooks, it's going to boil and stew and fall apart. And it'll probably taste just as well, but it's not a good presentation at all. So that's what I usually do. Tonight, however, I'm going to be roasting a chicken. This is a whole roaster from Perdue in a bag. Now, the only reason I actually bought this was because I went shopping 2 days ago, and down here on the eastern shore of Virginia, sometimes the food runs out. And this was literally the last piece of chicken available. And I wanted some chicken for the week, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a video and see how well this really comes out. It's supposed to leave it very moist on the inside because it cooks in a bag. Let's take a closer look. Now, I have done the bag cooking before, but it was a few years ago, and I really wasn't quite sure how well it came out. Let's take a look at this roaster. This is pre-seasoned. So already I can see one thing that I don't like, but I knew it was going to happen. There's really hardly any seasoning on this bird. I heavily season my birds because a lot of the seasoning falls off during the cooking process. And I like to use different types of seasonings as well. This is pretty minimal. Okay, what they want you to do is cut a 1-inch hole above the breast. That's for ventilation purposes. This is a 6-pound chicken, and it costs $10. They charge you a little bit more for the process of putting it in the bag and seasoning it. Okay, so it's in the rack. They suggest 350 degrees for 130 minutes. So it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. Or if it reaches an internal temperature of 165 degrees. So it's going in now. I'm going to check it at 2 hours and we'll take it from there. We'll see how nice and juicy this comes out. Okay, so it has been exactly 2 hours and 10 minutes, exactly matching the instructions. And you can see it has some browning to it, but it's not completely browned at all, and I knew that wasn't going to happen. There's quite a lot of natural juice contained in the bag, so there's a good chance I can make some sort of gravy out of that. So what I'm going to do at this point is just cut it open completely, let it cool down a bit. You can't cut into a hot bird. And then I'm going to check just to see how juicy it is on the inside. Okay, so I cut the plastic off. There's quite a lot of juice in this tray. That'll make a great stock, a great gravy. The only problem is, yeah, it looks undercooked. Doesn't look too attractive. But the whole point of this is to see whether it is juicy or not as compared to other cooking methods. So I'm going to let this cool down. It's piping hot. And then going to cut into it and then evaluate it. Okay, so here it is after everything has been said and done. And like I said, you won't want to cook this bird and serve it like this because it's totally unpresentable. It's not browned at all. I'm going to cut right into the breast, and that's a very good indication whether it's juicy or not, because the breasts dry out very quickly. That's actually hot. It's quite juicy though. Good look. That is super tender. That is super juicy. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but it's quite juicy. It's very underspiced, but like I said, I think this is even juicier than my cooking it in a coquette or cocotte. So I guess it's a bit of a trade-off whether you want a super juicy bird or a bird that's a little drier but more presentable. I mean, I would not put this on a plate and serve it to people. However, this would make a good chicken for a salad, for a soup, or you can just use it as is. Just don't concentrate on the appeal factor so much. I think I may do this again if I want a bird for non-presentation purposes. It is really juicy, so I'll give it to Perdue. Okay folks, thanks for watching this video, and please check back for other videos.